I'm Stephanie Whitfield. The Delta Plus variant is now in Houston. Delta Plus is another version of the Delta variant, which is already causing hospitalizations to rise. The concern is Delta Plus could impact how well vaccines and some treatments work.
I'm Xavier Walton. Road rage cases on the rise. A woman driving down the Katy freeway came face to face with a man holding a gun. Now, City Council's Public Safety and Homeland Security Committee is meeting today at 2 p.m. to address the issue.
Today, a community will say goodbye to a beloved mother. A private memorial service will be held for Michelle Cummings. She was killed by a stray bullet while sitting on her hotel patio when she was dropping her son off at the Naval Academy. Police say they've arrested the man responsible for her death.
No more drag racing in Baytown. Houston Raceway Park will shut down next spring after 35 years in business. In its place, a new industrial business park will open next year.
And parents, check your bank accounts. The new federal monthly child tax credit advance payments will start going out today. About 39 million households are eligible, and payments run through December.